Hi everybody, welcome to this call to make a body butter. Tonight I'm actually going to use the Power blend within my body butter. So my name's Nicky and I made this blend a little while ago. It was actually before the Power came out. I had the oil and I made this as I wanted to use it on my lower tummy area. I've got a cesarean scar down there. And for me, it was my mum tum that I couldn't get rid of. And I was like, do you know what? I'm going to give this a go with the Power oil after what I was being told about how it can shrink down fat cells. Obviously, you've got your lymph drainage there. First of all, before I carry on talking, I want you to put your kettle on for me. I'm just switching my kettle on here. So switch your kettle on to boil for me while I'm talking. So the Power blend, I use it down in my lower tummy area, around my scar area, because I want to try and break down any fat that's left around my lymph nodes there. So in the Power blend, you have grapefruit, lemon, peppermint, ginger, and also cinnamon. So if you've had the Smart and Sassy blend before, it's a change of that. They've had a look, they've studied it on fat cells, and they've reformulated it. And this is the blend that we are left with. So it's great to have and available to use. One thing though you need to be very, very careful with at the moment is because of the sunshine. So we've got citrus oils in here that are photosensitive. You do not want them to be on exposed skin area when you go out in the sun. So the best thing to do is to use this body butter before you go to bed, because obviously then you're not going to be out in the sunshine. You may be putting on an area and you know for a fact that area is not going to be exposed to the sun. So I put it really low down on my scar area. So I do know that if I go out into the garden, I go into the pool or anything, I do know that that area will be covered up anyway, and it's not going to be exposed to the sun. What you don't want to do is start slapping it all over your tummy, around your hip areas, and then going out in the sunshine. So just be very, very aware of that. So once your kettle's boiled, I'm going to tell you what you need. So what you need today is you need shea butter. This, I've got a raw one here from the soakery. You need cocoa butter. This is more solid. Shea butter is softer, cocoa butter is solid. And then you also need coconut oil as well, solid coconut oil. And then you need the doTERRA fractionated coconut oil. If you don't have the doTERRA one, make sure you're getting an organic one of a good quality, because you don't want to start mixing bad quality with the products that you've already got. And you also need your oil. If you don't have Power, you could be looking at wild orange and grapefruit. That's quite a nice one to be using. Up to you. You might decide you don't want an oil body butter like I was talking about. I've made one before with Roman chamomile and lavender in it as well. For the instructions you've got, I'll go through them again, but we've got too much oil in there because I halved the recipe, but I forgot to halve the oil. So obviously it's up to you what strength you want to add. If you want to reduce it down, you can. I will only be using 15 drops of Power in my body butter, and you could do 8 wild orange and 8 grapefruit if you wanted to do it, but just make sure you're looking 15 or 16 drops in total if you want to add dilution. Obviously it's your choice what you want to do. So you need to have a saucepan, and you need to have a glass bowl that fits on top of that saucepan, and then your oven glove. So take the glass bowl off. Obviously it's not going to be hot at the minute, although mine is hot because I'd already had a practice run. You're going to put your hot water into your pan. So once you've got it into your pan, you're going to put your glass dish back over the top. First of all, we're going to start off by putting in half a cup of shea butter. Now, if you don't know what a cup is, these are measuring cups used in America a lot more. You can buy them over here. I brought them in shop like Home Bargains, really, really cheap. Just be a bit careful with them, because if you bend them too much, they will snap. This is a half-size cup. Also gives you measurements on there as well. These are fantastic for cooking so many different things. If you can get them, great. Otherwise, I will give you the measurements. So starting off with the shea butter, you want to do 108 grams. So for me, one of my lumps and a few odd bits that I've got left in this pot, what's going to be next on my order is some more shea butter. I've done that. I'm going to use a spoon. Careful though, remember safety, remember that is hot water. You have it pushed back well on your oven. Then the next thing you're going to use is half a cup of the cocoa butter, or 108 grams. So shea butter and cocoa butter is all 108 grams. So this piece, see, this is not flexible break. I'm going to go through my pot in my pot, I have some smaller bits. I'm gonna fill up my cup cocoa butter, but you'll find that this is a lot harder. Someone was saying to me, could they substitute the ingredients? I don't know, because this is all I've ever done. The trouble is, if you go with too much of the coconut oil without the cocoa butter, it gets too runny and it will melt in the heat. So cocoa butter into there as well. So you're entering that in there. And then you've also got coconut oil. So I've got my solid coconut oil here. You're going to put this coconut oil into your cup, half a cup or 108 grams again. Quite soft cocoa nut oil at the moment, because obviously the heat is a lot warmer, it's not cold. You don't want it too solid. So I'm going to put that in. Now I'm going to get my pot going, boil up my water and start melting down the ingredients. So I have an induction hob, so I'm going to power it right up to get it up to the boil, and then I'm going to drop it back down so that boils up really quickly. And I'm going to just drop it back down so it's bubbling away. And my ingredients, there you go, it's going to start melting. So the only thing I haven't put in yet is the liquid, the fractionated coconut oil. This needs to be half a cup or 120 millilitres. So I'm actually going to do slightly less by 5 millilitres, because I know this is a whole amount that I can do. So I'm just going to pour the remaining amount into here. So just be very careful, because the liquids are getting hot. I'm going to put this all into here. Honestly, it is worth it. I know you're spending quite a bit with the ingredients, but the body butter is amazing. We absolutely love it. Right, so that's one bottle full. Once you make this up, you can share it out with other people as well, because it will make up quite a large amount. So we're just going to melt this down. It's going to take a little while to melt down. I'm not going to wait for everything to melt down while I'm on this call, because it will take quite a while, and I'm just going to explain the next step. So once this melts down, what I want you to do, remember, no essential oil's gone in at the moment because it's too hot. What I want you to do is I want you to turn your pan off. Then with an oven glove, I want you to put the chopping board next to your pan and remove the glass dish onto the chopping board. Remember, safety, if you've got children with you, it's your responsibility. The safety is all your responsibility for what you're doing here. You're going to melt this down. And then once this is melted down, leave it to cool tonight. When it's cool, you're then going to put in your 15 drops of your oil, whatever oil you decide to use. Give it a stir, put it in the fridge. Then tomorrow, take it out of the fridge, let it warm back up again, because it will be really solid. And believe me, if you try and whisk it when it's too solid, been there, done that, then it will fly everywhere. It is quite funny. My kids found it hilariously funny, but it did just fly everywhere. So make sure that it's just got to a stage where you can put a spoon into it easily. Then you're going to whisk it up, and then you're going to put it into a container, either a glass jar you can use or a metal jar. And then from there, you'll be able to use it as and when. Remember, again, just don't forget about the sunlight. If you want to be more fancy, you can pipe it into the bag. Some people put it into piping bags and then pipe their body butter into the bag. Up to you. So you see mine is now melting down nicely. Cocoa butter will be the one that takes the most amount of time. So any questions, reach out to your wellness advocate. Please do send them pictures of your body butter you've made. I'm sure they'd love to see them. Any questions, do let them know. Take care, everyone.